What's up, Sales Nation? It's your boy Gaetano here with Sales Hacker, and we're sitting with the product marketing wolf of Wall Street, Chris Orlob from Gong. Chris, say what up to the sales crowd, man.
Hello, happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's start off a little bit basic. Let's not go in too deep. Tell the audience a little bit about you, your background, and what kind of brought you to Gong.
So I'm Senior Director of Product Marketing at Gong. Kind of a weird story getting into product marketing at Gong, because before that I was the co-founder of a company called Conversature, which was a company that competed head-to-head with Gong. So Gong used to be my arch nemesis.
So what happened to the company you co-founded?
Man, that's a can of worms there, but long story short, we quote-unquote ran out of money. And Gong absorbed us. Gong picked us up. The CEO liked what I was doing from a product marketing perspective for my own company, and he asked me to run it for Gong. Before that, I was a regional sales manager at InsideSales.com, so even though my title is product marketing, I'm kind of a sales guy in disguise.
Right. And that's why you're so good at product marketing, because you know how the overlap works.
I like to think so. There are a lot of good product marketers that have never sold anything, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's very difficult to appreciate what a product marketer needs to do if you've never been an account executive or a sales manager before, especially for enterprise software companies, because a core part of your job is going to be equipping the sales team. And if you're equipping them with a bunch of irrelevant either material or trainings or what have you, then you're going to fail. But don't get me wrong, I've seen product marketers who have never sold anything who are very successful, but most of the best ones do have some sort of sales experience.
Sure. And the amazing thing about the content that you guys are putting out is, at the end of the day, it really is enablement for your sales team. But at the same time, it's fascinating to me because you've done such a good job of marketing the product without actually talking about the product.
Yeah.
You take the data that the product provides and use that as the content marketing ammunition. So I think that's like one of the hardest parts about product marketing. How do you be a product marketer without directly selling hard the product?
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to what you said. The content should be valuable enough on its own. It should be so valuable that people would be willing to pay for it if it was not free. And a lot of that just comes back to understanding what problems do your buyers have that your product can solve, and you can create content that is not a sales pitch, but addresses whatever the problem they have. And since there's overlap as far as the problem that the content is solving and the problem that your product is solving, well, it leads them through the buyer's journey. So, it's easier said than done. It's very hard to create really good content, but if you can create content that people are willing to pay for if they had to, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, I love that. And like the thing with Sales Hackers, we do a lot of top of the funnel demand generation stuff. And you guys are really doing a great job with bottom of the funnel and middle of the funnel content, but it also has this virality effect too on LinkedIn. Several of your articles have gone viral on LinkedIn. So can you talk about like what is the secret sauce, aside from the incredible data, that makes these posts on LinkedIn go viral? Because they're going deep and they're going far, and people want to know how that happens.
Yeah, I think, so the first thing I talked about as far as good product marketing was have sales experience. I think what's even more important than that is having very deep domain knowledge, because if you know a lot about a domain or an industry or profession, and you're a good writer or content producer, you'll automatically be able to create good content. I almost think, I have a great senior content marketing manager over at Gong, and she's amazing, but I almost don't like the job title of content marketing manager.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Because you can't just go from content marketing job to content marketing job and have them be totally different industries and be effective in both, because it requires you to understand, like, at a very deep level, how your market works, the pain points your buyers have, the language they use, and it takes a long time to build up that domain.
Exactly. And kind of like you were already familiar with the domain, with the space, and I was in a similar role at Pipedrive. I was doing sales content, very top of the funnel, middle of the funnel stuff, so a transition over to Sales Hacker wasn't that difficult for me, so I can kind of relate to that. But let's get into Gong, man. So You guys are shaking and moving right now. What's going on in the world of Gong? What's the roadmap looking like? Let's just lay it all out there on the line. What's going on?
Yeah, so Gong is a platform that helps sales teams generate more revenue by having better sales conversations. That's like the one sentence pitch. And if you think about if you think about a marketer 20 years ago, they had no data. They would create campaigns, the internet was super new, they would send the campaigns out and they would simply hope things worked. No data no data to tell them what's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
And now that's unheard of. Like, you can look at any marketing campaign and get very granular data to like optimize it, the headline, everything. Well, the same kind of transformation is happening to sales. Sales has been looked at as an art and pure intuition, and it's like, we have this qualitative sales conversation, but technology is starting to make sales a science. And for the record, I don't think sales is ever going to be pure science. There's always going to be this art, there's always going to be qualitative aspects, just like in marketing. But now we can get data behind what's actually working and what's not working, instead of saying, well, I took Xerox sales training 20 years ago at the beginning of my career, and I can promise you it works for reasons.
Right. Yeah, it's the anti almost of what's happening now. So, and of course, we're here at the Revenue Summit. The energy is buzzing. Amit had a killer session on the top 9 things, I believe, that salespeople...
9 habits of highly effective sales.
The 9 habits of highly effective salespeople. So you definitely need to check that out. We're publishing a recap on this next week on saleshacker.com if you're not able to attend today. But let's just talk about the energy at Revenue Summit, man. How are you feeling? It's buzzing.
So it's been incredibly fun, and that is high praise coming from me because I hate most events.
Are you introverted?
Yes,
Yeah,
I get just exhausted.
Yeah.
But I've been having such a blast. Revenue Summit is my second favorite event, second only to Sales Machine in New York, which is also hosted by Sales Hacker. So I got here at 7:30. I've been having a blast all day, and it's been a really good show.
Nice. Yeah, thanks, man. I love that. And for us, it's like really a pleasure, and it's very satisfying to be able to bring this community together in person. Obviously, we have the online digital community on LinkedIn and our website and all this stuff, but you don't really ever meet the people.
Yeah.
And then here it's like, oh my God, this is the guy I've been working with through digital stuff for like 4 or 5 months.
Your LinkedIn girlfriends and boyfriends?
Yeah, your LinkedIn groupies and whatnot. I'm sure you got a few, but based on the content that you put out, that's so good. Revenue Summit's buzzing. We got all this stuff going on. Let's talk about Gong a little bit more. What's next for you guys?
I don't know how many cards I want to reveal, but let's just say we're going to revolutionize how B2B sales is done. It's I don't want to tip off what our roadmap looks like, but let me put it this way.
Okay.
Our CEO walked me through the roadmap, the product roadmap for 2018 a few weeks ago. And I had to go for a 30-minute walk after that to comprehend just how big of a business is. Like, I was literally scared. I was like, I need to step up my game tenfold if we're going to capitalize on this. And it's like intimidating in an amazing way, but keep a close eye on Gong because it is going to be the #1 tool in every sales stack.
Yep, it's revolutionizing sales already, and it's early in the game. If you can only imagine what's going to happen in 5-10 years from now, it's an exciting time for sales. We have the technology at our fingertips. The data is already in our backyard, so we're making stuff happen. So Chris, tell the audience where they can find you. Where can they connect with you? Obviously LinkedIn, Chris Orlob, but where else can they find you and connect with you?
LinkedIn's the best bet. I try to stay up to date on Twitter, and I fail miserably at it. So just find me on LinkedIn. Just search Chris Orlob, ChrisOrlob, as in boy. I'm happy to connect with you unless you give me an immediate sales pitch, and then I probably won't disconnect you, but I'm not going to respond. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, don't do the automatic DM thing as soon as someone accepts your...
So find me on LinkedIn. That's the best.
Definitely hit up Chris on LinkedIn. Go to his article library. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can get lost in that thing alone. He's one of the only people on LinkedIn where I think you get actually lost in a library of content. So definitely do that. And with that said, we're going to sign out. So make sure you go to saleshacker.com next week. Look for the recap of everything we're doing at Revenue Summit. Hit up Chris Orlob on LinkedIn. Hit up gong.io. Go to their website. Check out what they're doing and stay in touch. We're out. Peace.